Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I could just cry.
We made it.
First of all, I got to be honest with you. I was watching you guys and I was so touched hearing you pray before we started this and watching you pray together as a family. That felt so good. How are y'all holding up? You getting ready to hit this tour? You're going to be praying a lot.
Yeah. We've been praying for a long time. Lots of prayers. We do a prayer call almost every Monday, as a matter of fact. Like, we got to keep this thing moving, but really that's what it is. God is really centered in the middle of everything that we do, and it starts there first, and it just kind of exudes itself, you know, and it just opens itself up to our fans and everybody else that gets to share in the magic of New Edition.
It is so magical. You guys are the prototypes for all boy bands. We heard the list that continue to be inspired. I was watching the American Music Awards, and to see BTS look at you all with such admiration made me feel good. No hate on BTS, I like them too. But to see them recognize the Kings was so good. How did it feel to see that audience reaction?
Man, it felt great. I mean, we always wonder, you know, with newer acts that come out, if they know who we are, if we had anything to do with their careers and so on and so forth. So to see those guys trying to do the routines along with us, it was a good feeling.
I was trying at home too. They did better than me, but Ralph, let me ask you, Ralph, this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees were just announced. Your fans have been campaigning to get you guys in. There was a brilliant article in The Undefeated online. The piece was the case for New Edition. I know it has to be on the bucket list, Ralph. It's coming. When it does happen, how are you going to celebrate? Because it's coming. I'm willing that into existence.
My goodness, how are we going to? I don't know what I'm going to do. I think probably the same way that we celebrated the Walk of Fame, the Hollywood Walk of Fame star, the movie and its success. You know, everybody just kind of, it's all surreal to us still.
Bobby, I'll ask you, you knew that the group had something special early on. You talked about watching Soul Train. Just like you guys, I watched those shows, and to see you break the mold. When I look back at those videos, especially Candy Girl, that very first moment we saw this magic, when did you know, or were you too young to understand it?
I think I knew from the beginning. As much rehearsals we used to do, as many shows as we used to do, talent show to talent show to talent show. It was just something that I knew that it could happen for us. Watching Soul Train just, you know, further, and being on Soul Train just further instilled a meaningful
Confirmation.
Confirmation, yes.
Yes.
That we were gonna, you know, make it.
That it was meant to be. My Candy Girl was at 1983. When I look again at the videos and look at you guys now, American Music Awards, the work ethic. You know, I tell people, a lot of people can dance, a lot of people can sing, not like y'all, but yes, they do okay, but it's work ethic that you guys had as kids that I still, having a child now myself at 3, he's 3 years old, you were babies with work ethic of grown men. Where did that come from?
Well, we was guided by Brooke Payne, and in the beginning, Ralph and Ricky was working with a gentleman named Travis Gresham. And what they did to us is they wanted us to be stars in talent shows. Like talent shows, you win money, $10, you know, popularity in your projects. But they had another vision for us. So every day after school, from like, 4 to 7, we would be in Brooke's living room or Bob's living room or Ricky's living room, and we would rehearse other people's songs, the Whispers, the Daz Band and stuff like that, Shalimar. And we would just tighten up and get ready, and you couldn't tell us we wasn't the Jacksons when we were little.
That's right.
You could not tell us we wasn't Marlon, Jermaine, Jackie, Randy.
Listen, I was Jackie. I'm gonna say that right now.
Hey, I'm a hardcore Marlon.
I have to tell you, I just went to see the Michael Jackson musical on Broadway, and Ralph, to know that y'all beat Michael Jackson in the Billboard, you topped Michael Jackson. I can't even understand how you process that, knowing how they influenced you, and then your song beats Michael Jackson's song on the Billboard.
You know, at the time, we didn't know either. We didn't know what we did. We didn't know what type of accomplishment the Billboard charts were and all that. We just heard that we knew that that was a countdown of the music and the best music that's out right now. So when we heard that we beat Michael, that was just all that meant to us. Oh, we beat Michael Jackson. We must be doing good. But overall, we didn't really understand the charts then. We were just little boys getting into the industry, figuring it all out.
Well, listen, the destiny of New Edition is sealed in history, but the future is even better. When we come back, more of our exclusive 1-hour Tamron Hall show, my dream show, dedicated to New Edition after the break. And Johnny Gill, wait a minute, Johnny's joining the conversation after the break. We are back with R&B pioneers, New Edition, who are with us today for an exclusive full hour ahead of their 30-city tour, which kicks off tomorrow in Columbus, Georgia. And March 2nd, they're returning to Boston, where it all started. I will be on the train headed that way. In 1987, that's when it started. But 2 years after Bobby left, New Edition fans were introduced to the newest member of the group when Johnny Gill, a talented young solo artist from Washington, D.C., signed on. And Mr. Johnny Gill joins us now. Welcome. There he is. There he is. Johnny, the last time I saw you, you were here in our studio when we had the audience. It's so good to see you. It's so good to have you. I have to start now. You ready for this 30-city tour? You tore it up in this studio of mine here, but are you ready? 30 cities?
Absolutely. I'm very excited. All of us are excited about it. And I think just to see our fans and to get a chance to really do something we haven't done in years. Matter of fact, when we are in rehearsals, we don't drink water or Gatorade or that stuff. We just got a whole room full of Bengay. It's not pretty.
Rub it down the knees. Well, you know what you say, it's not pretty. What I love also about you guys, you've been so authentic about the journey. You know, the show on BET, the series, was a huge hit because it did peel back the layers from when the heartbreak of Bobby leaving to you coming into the group as well. Even the honesty of at times feeling like you and Bobby were being pitted against each other. Clearly that didn't work. You're sitting there together now, but that's real talk. It's challenging to come in after they'd been so successful.
Yeah, very challenging. And, you know, there was something that I had to, I mean, it was a lot of pressure. Just proving that I was worthy and that I belong here. It was like going through that whole process where, you know, even still today, it's been, what, how many years? 30-something, almost 30-something years?
39.
39. But still, for me, and it's like the new guy. I'm still the new guy. It's been, it's like.
You were, of course, known for your ballads. I mean, the duets with Stacey Lattisaw, all of that. And then I remember, like yesterday, two big moments. I remember when they announced, and I said, Johnny Gill can dance? Wait a minute. Is he? And you jumped in. How was it, the moves? Because you had the voice, but proving that you had the moves.
Listen, I owe all of that praise goes to the one and only Mr. Brooke Payne. Let me tell you, when they brought me over to the house and they was telling Brooke what was going to happen, and then he was standing there looking, and then they said, well, can he do the cross step? And so I did. I don't know if it was a cross step, but it was a step. Brooke looked, and he was just like, he put his hand over his face. He was like, listen, I'm not Jesus. Right? Y'all expect me to work a miracle?
Going back to the American Music Awards, when your style, Bobby, all of you out there, just hats, everything. I was telling our crew here, I said, it's remarkable when you look at them. You can't take your eyes off of you guys. Now, everything is meticulous. Bobby, how important is it that every T, every I is dotted for the fans who are coming to see you on this tour?
That is the number one goal, to have everything precise. Everything has to be, every I has to be dotted and every T has to be crossed in order to perform with these guys. I'm just getting back into it, really trying hard. You might not know, but it's difficult to do the dance steps after you haven't been doing them for a while. It's about muscle memory, and I'm trying to get that back
Are
slowly
y'all
but surely.
doing like yoga? I know NFL players, they'll do Pilates, they'll do yoga. I mean, are you doing like those ice baths?
I tell you what's going to be really special for the fans, though. Watching Bobby, I was just saying how proud I am of watching him putting in the work. The fans getting a chance to see him, and I don't know how long it's been, how many years, to see us as one unit. Like he's going through the process, learning the steps, and putting in the work. Where it's like the fans are going to really, I think they're going to really enjoy it to see just the level of growth for us all.
Mike, I have to ask you, because this has always been the question. You guys never really broke up. You never disbanded. You took a break, but you didn't ever end New Edition, as I understand.
We kind of just followed the plan. There were some rocky steps in front of us that we didn't know why we were going this way, why it was happening this way. But I think Ronnie said it best, Tammy, like years ago. Everything with us was supposed to happen to heighten the group. Remember, our idols were the Jacksons. Our idols were the Temptations. Our idols were Blue Magic. But they never had 5 in 1. And that's what you get out of the concert. Even though you come in to see the New Edition brand, you get to see all of this great talent when it stands alone, so that the depth of the group needed to be established. And it was like when you have a baby, it's 9 months, you carry it, you're going through, you're eating your favorite food, the push out hurts, but when it's hoisted in there and it's smacked on the butt, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. And that's what New Edition is.
That's a
I've never heard anyone describe it that way, but picking up off of what Mike said, Ricky, I have to ask you, he compared it, Mike, to having a baby, but for y'all, this is the longest relationship you've had. I mean, weddings and marriages and loves and children have come, but in real talk, this is your longest relationship, Ricky, other than with your parents.
I mean, I'm actually closer to these guys than I am with my own, blood brothers. We spend a lot of time together. We've grown up, like we went through puberty together, all of it. And the good thing about it, I think what has helped us sustain our relationship is those beginning times, is the fact that we were friends. No one put us together. We were friends before we started working together professionally. And, when we take our breaks or whatever, we're still friends. We're still talking on the phone and seeing each other and hanging out. And, we're just super grateful for that.
As a group, we hope that we really can set, an example for a lot of the other groups that are out there in the younger generation to understand that you go through ups and downs. We fight, we have our internal issues, but ultimately you see us come back full circle simply because it's a real true brotherhood.
Yeah, you know what, you were talking about the Jacksons. They were born into the family in one house, that little tiny house in Gary. You were friends, so you are family that you choose versus family that you're born into, which makes the relationship even more complicated, right? Because you can't write each other out of the family tree. You're a part of each other's family tree by choice. And that means ups and downs.
And too, Tamron, our projects is the worst thing you could be walking around in as a kid. So for us to even come together to say, yo, we're not gonna go do this, we're not gonna go do that, but it's all in our face, the music got us here. And we are what you call some young kids that had a dream, and we stepped all the way in it.
Listen, you got me tearing up because I can only imagine what it's like to go back to Boston on the tour coming up in March and return as the kings that you are.